fix. Can you believe that? I cleaned. Ta-da! Not everything. Don't get carried away. This is what we're going to use to fix the hood. It was just more convenient, and it was actually a little bit cheaper because I was going to have to buy mat. So you need that to fix big cracks like we're doing. I needed resin. I have some spreaders, but it comes with a spreader, and this is the hardener for the resin. You have to use old house containers. We'll use that to mix up our resin, and then we could soak the mat. That's still kind of a nice one. Soft, I like them soft. My plan is to come up with a way, like I was showing, to hold this down. So I'm thinking something clamped here, and if I have to, a bungee cord or something here to pull that down. You know, it's all stress cracked all through here. Before we're done, you know, obviously I want to fix the problems first. You know, fix this, fix these cracks. Then when we're done, we'll sand the whole thing out. We'll end up priming the whole thing. It'll probably just stay in primer for now. Maybe I'll shoot it like flat satin black primer, and then it can just sit until I'm ready to paint the car. So instead of wearing my gloves out in public for this quarantine crap, because try not to leave the house if we don't have to, just because, why not? I am going to drill some holes here. Got the drill, but I hate fiberglass. The itch, I just don't like it. So to make life easier, we wear gloves. So I'm going to drill a hole here. Probably drill another one. Maybe I should go here first. Yeah, we'll go here. Put some holes in it. I'm going to nut and bolt it together with little tiny, like 8/32 I have. But you could see the crack pretty much. You know, if we were to try taking this thing to the track, it would probably tear and hood would come off the car, and we don't really want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get some screws poked in here, get this cleaned up, start working. Alright, let's see if this fits through here. It should. Okay. So we're going to use way bigger washers than we need. I don't have the right ones, but this will help spread the clamping force out a little bit. Get one on the bottom side. Just let me go ahead and save us all a whole bunch of time. This didn't work. One thing though, when you are doing fiberglass or any kind of body work, you want to make sure you have it ground really well. This was the best option I had. Usually I use a little air grinder. I got 120 grit on here because it's super aggressive using a giant flap wheel. So once everything's ground off, you can see how big of an area I did. I'm going to blow it all off real good. I'll end up coming back and hand sanding some of the shiny spots. But from here, we're almost ready to start laying some resin and laying some fiberglass. Alright, now I made it super dusty in here. I'm going to go and step outside for a minute until this crap settles down. As you can see, got a whole bunch of grinding done. I sound ridiculous because I'm wearing a respirator. Gotta stay safe, especially with this fiberglass crap. I'm going to go ahead and mix up some of this. This is just the mat. I should probably get some scissors out. It's usually how you want to operate this procedure here. I'm going to cut the mat to what size you need it. There's all different kinds of fiberglass mats. I am not a fiberglass expert by any means. They've got some that are tightly woven, you know, for doing nicer stuff. For what we're doing, this is basically, that hood's probably shot, but if it's laid, I mean, some of it underneath that hood basically looks like what we're working with right here. So I don't know how good you can see it in the camera there. You know, it's decently thick. This stuff will pull apart, kind of. So I'm going to take this over there. I'll turn you guys around. You can see me cut it. Alright, we got our mat. Now we will lay it out here. You know, how big do I want to go? You can kind of see where I got it ground to. If it goes a little past that, before I do this, I'm going to go around all the edges, you know, like some 80 grit so that it's got more to bite into. But you can see here, basically, how we've got to come up. I want to make the first one at least go for that edge. So we're going to come, you got to be careful not to just follow the, I guess I can follow the fold line in this stuff. Oh yeah, these scissors are great, let me tell you. We might end up having to rip it. Kind of made a little spot there. We want to go, we'll say, yeah, we'll just come to this fold mark here. Oh, now we're cutting a little. I got some really good shears in the house. I'm going to have to get them because this is going to take all afternoon doing it like this. I'm back. Let's try these out. These should cut a lot better, I hope. Oh, yeah. Like butter. Okay, now we'll just come here, cut us out a second one. So like I said, I think we'll end up doing 2 layers of this just to make life easy, make the hood stronger. We'll end up doing a 3rd layer more than likely on the top side, but we'll get to that bridge when we cross it. Gotta get the bottom side done first, so that the hood is structurally sound again, because right now it's not. We'll use this little cutoff here. This could work out perfect. Put that over there. I'm going to be so itchy by the end of the day, I can already tell you. Okay, so besides doing the 2 sheets, is what I think will be a good idea, is if I cut like this sheet, so that here in these areas where it's cracked, especially this big crack here, it'll have 3 layers on the underside, which will be way better than 2 layers. Sorry, I had some memory issues there with the fancy dancy camera. Like I was saying before, you know, this stuff kind of can just pull apart. So is what I'm doing here is I put a piece of tape on the underside of this hole that is for the hood pin, which I will just re-drill when we're done with this. But since this is so screwed up here and cracked all the way through it, I'm pulling off shards of this and stuffing it in here to kind of give this whole area a little more body. I know I probably should be doing it wet. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I mean, the resin will soak in pretty good and at least fill most of it and stop the mat from falling down into this hole. We'll put some more on there later. I got this piece trimmed to fit here. Follows the curve. That'll be my first piece to put on after I go through and do what I'm going to do here. Goop all this up. I'm going to hit this, like I said, real quick with 80. Should probably trim these to fit the front here also. Oh no, I got a rip in my glove. I'm going to get contaminated. Good thing we got some leftover brushes from painting the car. One thing I always, any brush, acid brush, anything I use, I like to try and pull out whatever loose. I mean, you'll never get them all, especially with these cheap disposable brushes. Let's get some gloves on. The mix ratio, at least for this, that Bondo brand fiberglass resin is calling for, this uses a liquid, almost like a clear hardener, you know. I mean, obviously it's clear, but like clear paint. You can't use regular Bondo hardener with this stuff. It will not work. It is not the same thing. So, we're probably going to start. I mean, we got quite a bit of mat there to saturate. Probably do half a can. I mean, I have a feeling we'll probably need more resin to finish this project, but this is really the biggest area here. So, let's see. It's filled to about the liquid hardener thing. Let's go start pouring. Oh yeah, nice and yucky looking. Drink you some of that. Let's see. Go a little more. If I had a scale or something out here, probably make this easier. I don't have the cups like I would usually use. So this is the way we're doing it. Normally I'd have the cups that say, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, because then you kind of, I got a, what it says here, 28 ounce container, whatever. So we got that there. Put a whole bunch of hardener in it. What do I got to do? Do I got to bite this thing? I probably shouldn't bite that. Use our wood bit. There we go. And put about that much. My dumbass didn't bring nothing to stir it with. Looks like we'll use a screwdriver. It's probably not the right way. Like I said, I don't know if I would believe anything I'm saying about this repair. Maybe we'll switch to need something bigger. You don't have forever to work with this stuff. I had a stick. I left it in the damn house. Well, we'll just mix it with the brush. This is what we got. So you can see our repair area. I'm going to go, kind of got to work a little fast with this. I don't want to waste it. I don't want the stuff to harden up on me while I'm doing this. This here will help to glue these two panels basically back together. Look at the resin like it's a glue. Get some right in there. We'll paint a little bit on the whole thing so that when we go to set that mat on here, we'll kind of have something to stick it to. Alright, let's get our fancy proper upper. Alright, now we're proper upped. Let's first set this mat on here. Let's get all this nice and soaked is the whole plan here. See how it just starts to saturate in? Just because I'm a body man does not mean I am a fiberglass man. Fiberglass is for boats. Alright. So we got that edge folded. Just kind of go and push all this down. Oh, damn it, this one slid too far. We're messing everything up now. Well, that's where that's going to stay. Pour some of this on here. Very technical. hopefully we've got enough to do the second mat on top of this one. Uh-oh. We're starting to fall. Can't let that happen. We're definitely going to be cutting it close here on the amount of resin that we have. You want to get all the air bubbles out. So as you can see how I'm just kind of pooping it. Sounds like it's farting around. Because you want the stuff to all bond together. That's why everything is saturated and ground. And yeah, see, I have a bunch of air bubbles in there. A bunch in there. I don't want to set the next mat on here if I've got a whole bunch of air bubbles, because it's not going to be doing nobody no favors. I think we're good enough. Let's set this on here. Make sure this time we are out over this edge here. Move that there. I want that doubled up here also. As you can see how this stuff is just like sticking to me. Imagine if you had no gloves on, how gross this would be. I mean, not gross like it's, I don't know. I hate fiberglass. If I haven't said that, I'm not sure if I've said that at all. Alright, that's it for resin. Now we gotta make it work and make it look like something, huh? Probably definitely would have been better if I had a little bit more resin. I guess I can mix a little bit up. Hold that thought. Yeah, worst thing about this also, doing fiberglass stuff, this resin is sticky. Everything I touch is just sticky. Let me get some painted on the edge here. Might as well let this fold over. Damn air bubbles, go somewhere else. Definitely don't want any air bubbles if I don't have to around the repair area. I mean, looking at this, I mean, I don't know how it looks on camera, but besides being shiny, I think it's going to blend in real nice. Especially if I paint it black once we're all done. You won't even know this was fixed. So, where the crack was, right through here, we've got 3 layers. 2 layers of mat over the entire thing. Right here's that little spot I was fighting, trying to get it to stay down. It is what it is. So yeah, now that'll dry. To cure takes a couple hours, but it's just about lunchtime anyways. Gonna have to go lunch with the wife in de casa. So yeah, we'll let this cure. I mean, you can see how it looked and how that looked. Good enough. Alright, so we went and had lunch. This is sat for about an hour. I haven't touched it yet, so let's see if my finger sticks. No. It's definitely, I don't know if it's 100% hard, but it's definitely getting there. Probably unclip these. Yeah, you can see how hard that is now. So that's cool. I think I want to let it sit a little longer before I undo our contraption here. Contraption seems to be working pretty good. There's that hole. So we'll just re-drill that, because that one's really bad. This one's pretty bad. But considering that one had the crack running through it and everything, it's probably the best bet for what we did. Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty hard. I just don't really want to take a chance of screwing it up. I mean, it's still a little gooey-ish. I think it said like 2 hours to fully cure. It's been on there an hour, so we'll fool around doing something else. Not quite sure what we'll do, but there's directions. If you know how to read, inbox me. Maybe you can help me. I don't know what any of that says. I don't know what that says either. So yeah, we'll just let this dry. Probably go back to watching some TV. No, there's plenty to do. So the underside is done. At least enough for now to fix this. I'm going to take 80 grit and sand quite a big area here. We're probably only going to put a strip through here, maybe do a cross. We'll figure that out when we get there, but I don't feel like going up the cowl because then that's so much more body work and the crack doesn't go there. So I think if we grind it out real good, we'll probably end in here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to get ahead and start sanding that with some 80 grit. Put you in time lapse because the compressor is very loud. Got this section ready. Besides, when I was spraying it all out, compressor decided to spit a bunch of water. Awesome. So my plan is to just put resin over all this because these were mostly cracks. I think that should work. This one I filled in earlier. So we'll see if that works. If not, it'll just get bondoed. As long as the thing is structurally sound, which you can see here is where the crack used to be. And it's pretty damn strong. So I'm going to go ahead, cut out a piece, you know, to cover a good size area here like we did last time. I'll probably just fill this hole with resin. Still got a bunch of cracks and other things to fix, but this was the main concern. So we'll get this done. Then we'll fix the rest. All right, the top side is just got to dry now. It was being a pain in the dick and didn't want to wrap that edge as much, but I feel confident that it ain't going nowhere. Same thing here, I got 2 layers over that. It seems like it kind of blended out good-ish. You know, we'll sand it, feather it out, and then mud over whatever doesn't blend out good. Has to be better than it was. At least there's no more big gaping crack. Seems like it stopped raining, at least for now. So I'm going to take this tarp off because I don't want to leave this thing outside. Let's check the floor, see if we had any leaks through our patches. Any puddles? No, looks pretty dry. Cool. Well, back to what I was saying now. I'm going to take the hood, toss the hood on here. Considering that I never fit it, I feel like before I had this overhang here, it's from the top sheet, my line looked really nice through there. So I don't have room for the hood to stay off the car and the car to come in and the heater to work. So I'm going to roll the car in, but I'm going to put the hood on it first because there's nowhere to put it. Well, it's on. Kind of forgot that I don't have a pinhole there anymore. Yeah, I guess I could drill it, but I'm not dying that bad. I know it's going to fit. Maybe I'll do it. Damn it. But that fits pretty good. I mean, considering that's got to all be cleaned up still, which is no big deal. This whole edge, that's just the overlap from the top. But considering that you could put your hand here before and it was broken. Yep. So now, probably tomorrow, we will fix this corner, fix our big cracks along the back, and then structurally, I mean, that's really it. You know, these 3 cracks here. You know, that will fill with resin while we're fixing those. What's it say on the hood there? Huh, that'd be a cool idea. What do you think? Alright, so I know I posted these on Facebook and I've been kind of teasing them in this video. We've got stickers. A few of them are spoken for. Most of them aren't. All I have is green right now because green's what I like. I can't get other colors, but I want to get rid of all these green ones first. So get a hold of me if you want one. Not really trying to make anything off of them, just trying to pay for the sticker to get more, and shipping, unless you pick them up locally. Probably do like $7 or something shipped. Let me know. Leave a message or find me on Facebook, Foy's Automotive. The plan here that I've made up, because it's my plan and I could do whatever the hell I want. I want to sand all this with 80, get all this smooth-ish, smooth this out, clean up my edges. I gotta sand this because this is overhang that I had trimmed. This line here is pretty nice underneath it. I drilled the hole there yesterday because I wanted to put it on the car and forgot, hey, you filled the hole, you idiot. So yeah, we're gonna get all that cleaned up. Then once we get back to doing fiberglass, I want to set myself up to fix this corner because that's bad, obviously. It needs to continue straight. The back corners have to be trimmed to clear. These spots here we'll clean up and just put some resin, and we should be good with those because these corners I'm not really worried about making them square again, because especially if I'm taking the hood on and off by myself, they're going to get trashed. Same thing here, we'll probably just rip apart some fibers, put it here with some resin. But here, these cracks are pretty much all the way through. So we will, maybe we'll even cut a V in them, you know, with the saw blade. And we'll probably end up wrapping, you know, little boop, 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 boop. Put at least one layer, maybe put a layer on each, and then do a big strip across, you know, wrap it to the inside real good. What are you doing in here, dog? Here's my plan for today. Obviously, I'm going long sleeve. It's a little chilly out, and I want the door open, but try to alleviate a little of the itching. I tell you, I woke up itching like... I got in a patch of poison ivy with spurs all over it. It was terrible. We'll go ahead and sand this all down. 80 grit, long sleeves, gloves again because why? I hate fiberglass. We'll go off a time lapse here so we can kind of talk about something. If you guys don't do body work or haven't done body work, still not saying I'm a professional, but this is just the first quick run over it with the DA, right? So I got 80 grit on it, and you can see how, you know, we've got the scratch surface, but then there's shiny stuff. So obviously all the shiny stuff is still a low spot, and because I put all this resin on here to fight the cracks that were in the glass, there's a fine line of taking it all the way down, because then your layer's too thin and it's going to crack again anyways. So, you know, we'll ride that fine line, probably sand majority of all that. And then here, same thing, where we got from glass to where there's no glass. We've got a raised lip. Same as back here. You can see that, you know, the DA is riding right here, and it's not riding here because this is lower, this is higher. Obviously, I know I sound like an idiot. Same as all in here, you can see this whole area here is low. But I mean, the thing is solid now. It's It's actually a little thicker here than it was originally, which, you know, it's got the original glass plus a bunch more coats. So anyways, I'm going to get back to sanding this with 80 until it looks like something I can work with. And we'll mud it up after that once we get to a good spot with it. I don't know if in video it looks as smooth as it is. A lot of them lines you see, the compressor is full of water. It's just being awesome today. So this is all nice and feathered out. It is a little low here still. Got a little low spot here. So before I put any Bondo on, I'll rough up any of the big shiny spots. You know, the holes and stuff like that from the air. There ain't really nothing I can do. So my plan for this Bondo session, I guess, is to mostly worry about here and then try come over to there. I'm not worried about this stuff so much because I got to fix this corner still. But we can at least get a coat onto here. You know, there's some highs and lows from how far I had to dig the cracks out. And we'll make it pretty. Gonna go ahead here and get some Bondo mixed up to put on that hood. I've never used this stuff. I've used other Impol products. Bondo is obviously just a name brand. This is technically polyester body filler, but if you say it like that, you probably get smacked. I usually use a paint stick to get my Bondo out of gallons like this. This happens to be a measuring stick, so same difference. Ooh, this stuff is creamy. Be interesting to see how it works. It's called Fantastic. You don't want to waste Bondo and mix up way more than you need, but you don't want to be spreading and find out that you don't have enough. And that's kind of something, I don't know, nobody can tell you. You just got to mix hundreds of gallons of Bondos throughout the year and kind of get a guesstimate, you know, for how thick you're trying to put it on, what you're trying to cover. I think that'll probably be more than enough. If not, that's why usually you want to try to work in small areas if you can. So that's why when we start spreading, first area I'm going to be worried about is around the crack. So let's go ahead and get some hardener in here. That looks about enough. Get on there. We'll give her a squeeze for good luck. It's a little cool out. Where's my... If I lost my other spreader now, I'm going to be mad. Somewhere in here I lost 3 brand new ones. So if you see them, let me know. Mixing Bondo, there's a million different ways. Everybody does it different. This is just kind of the way I've always done it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just how I've was showed to mix it, and this is what has always worked for me. A lot of guys use paint sticks, and I've seen them do it like that. I've seen guys use like metal putty knives for houses to mix it. Like some guys mix it like it's drywall putty. So, not saying my way is right, but this is what works for me. And it's nice, you see all the stripes there. You know, you want to keep mixing until it's all even and there's no more hardener stripes. This is obviously a little harder because I've got this tiny piece of freaking cardboard. Let me throw some gloves on. I just don't feel like getting covered in Bondo right now. That glove just jumped right in. Yeah, you've only got a limited time. That's also dependent on temperature, how much hardener you put in, the brand of things, you know, the humidity. There's a lot of factors that go into drying time, you know, and how long you got to mix it before the shit hardens up. Stuff kind of reminds me of Rage. I think it's Extreme. It's an Evercoat product, I believe. That stuff is my favorite Bondo. it's like cake batter. You want to try and push down as hard as you can, especially on these first coats, because I'm trying to fill all these air holes. So you need to really try to push the filler into them. Doesn't always want to go in, so you'll see, I don't know if they're popping up on the camera, you'll see some of the little holes popping up. You know, I mean, I'm sure the right way to do this would probably be go back over everything with some more resin, but that's just not in the cards. We don't really have that much, and I don't want to go to the store, you know, trying to social distance myself. Trying to use whatever we have on hand. Yeah, this mud is, I mean, it's thick. It's supposed to be a lightweight. Hopefully it sands really nice. You almost need some honey so it doesn't spread really nice. Gotta say, so far, not a huge fan of this stuff. I'm gonna hit this real quick with probably 80. See how 80 cuts? I don't have much 80 left. Just to buzz down the big uneven stuff. And then I'm going to get my blocks. These are pretty much the two I use for everything. This one is my favorite. Durablock, I don't like them so much. They're too hard. This one is a Motor Guard big block, they call them. This is the whole side one. It's my favorite. So if we were doing this for, you know, a real television show, I'm sure in the camera it probably looks great already. Just, you know, if we were on rides or Pimp My Ride or whatever, it'd be ready for paint. But no, there's still some spots. I like to use blocking powder a lot. If you've never used it, it's basically graphite, which is a pencil, ground up, and you've got like a sponge, essentially, you put it on with. If you don't have that, like I don't have here, you can do this just as well. And say you're working on something and you need to make a body line, you could use the pencil, and then when you're blocking, you know, you block one way, then you could save a body line or make one. Not that it matters, we're fixing a hood. There are no body lines. The whole hood is pretty much blocked out in 180. This Bondo is super pinholey. I think it's the way it spreads. Maybe once I use it some more, I'll be able to figure it out. It does sand pretty nice though, so that is a bonus. Yeah, I don't really want to, like, that stuff isn't thin enough to skim coat the whole thing. You know, like if it was a glaze, it'd be no problem. They just skim coat the whole thing. I think I'm going to mix up just a little bit and use a razor blade and try and fill all the pinholes, then see what it looks like after that. Good thing that car needed a bath. I should get out there with some soap and water, huh? But then I'd get a bath, and, well, I only like taking baths on Sundays. It's not Sunday. It looks good, don't it? I mean, some of the paint really ain't terrible. I mean, especially when it's wet. But the whole car needs painted. Should we paint it? Let's see how long this Corona is going to last. There you go. We sprayed all that can of primer we had. The fiberglass and everything's going to want to probably suck up quite a bit of that. So I'm sure I'll have to prime it, obviously, more than once. But I just wanted to see how good or bad it looks, and looking at the right light reflecting off of it, I think that'll pass. There we are the next day after the primer has dried. I went and picked up some spot putty to fill all these little tiny, will it focus? These little tiny pinholes you see. Got a few of them. Had it react kind of weird up here, lifted a little bit, but I'm gonna buzz all this down when I'm ready, which isn't right now. right now the plan is get the car back outside in the rain, because it's rained all friggin' week so far. Or at least all I've been out here. I don't know. We're going to fix this. And then we're going to fix those. And then we will sand the entire hood down and prime the entire hood today, hopefully. That's the plan. So the plan for the hood today is we're going to use the grinder again. I got a 120 grit flap wheel on here. So I'm going to go take all this down, you know, to bare glass in this corner. We'll lay a sheet. We got everything coated in resin. Got a layer here. This is just coated in resin. And then here we got like 3 layers, 1 from the bottom, 2 from the top. This is where that corner obviously was busted off. Kind of having a, I want this to be able to hang obviously, so it can hang this edge a little bit, damn it, and make that corner. I wanted this to wrap around, but gravity is working against me here for me over there. So I think that corner is a little more important than this. This has got resin on both sides and at least a patch wrapping around it, so I think it'll be good enough. Got some of this fancy Bondo brand glazing putty. I've used this stuff before. I just picked it up from a parts store. It's basically like a 1K, 1 part, you know, putty for filling tiny pinholes and stuff. It works all right. It's better than spreading Bondo back over all the crap. You know, I'm just using a plastic razor blade to smush it in anywhere where I got some pinholes. And then I'll let this stuff dry. Like that. You see how nice our magic gutter worked? Now we have a solid corner here. And now once it dries a little more, it's still a little gooey, I can go ahead and sand it. Boop, 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 boop. We won't have a hole. This shit is taking forever. It's been 3 days already. Been working on this damn hood. If I had to pay for labor, it would have been cheaper to buy a hood. Hood is now all ready for primer. I've wiped it down. Got the fan going to blow dust and everything out. Before I prime it, I got a tack cloth. I'm going to go and wipe the whole thing down just to get any loose dust that's landed on it off. Just going to shake up this can. You know, got to do it. Got to just shake it. So the hood's dried for what I finished painting about 11:30. It's like 1:30 now, so I don't know, that 13, 14 hours or something. So as you can see, you can kind of still see through the primer. It's funny, it looks even worse on camera. The fancy paint we bought, only the best. 2-time paint and primer in one. I like that stuff. It lays out really well. I'm just hoping that there's not going to be a reaction with the primer. But I am going to go over the whole thing right now and wet sand it. I got some 320. It's the finest I had. I wish I had something a little finer, but 320 should be plenty. So yeah, I'm going to go over, wet sand the whole thing, and then paint her up. Alright, I'm sure you hear the fan going, but I don't want to turn it off because it's sucking stuff out. That's the second coat. It's starting to look better. It's taken, I don't know, first coat almost took the whole entire can, but we did all the edges. This is a little more than half a can. We'll probably lay the next one on quite a bit thicker. Hopefully that'll be the last go around, but still got 2 full cans if we need them. Alright, so we just put that coat on pretty heavy. As you can see, I missed the spot. If it's on here nice and wet, it should all melt in together
You know, hopefully we don't have to do another coat. You know, we want to keep it super wet looking without running it. And that should hopefully give us the best finish. We're going to hammer down this side and put the gun down. The hand. This is the last can in my hand anyways. That's as painted as it's going to get. Like I said, this respirator is not good for painting, but I've got a good fan sucking everything out of here. I want to get out of here for a little bit, maybe 10-15 minutes, let this set up, let the place suck out, and we'll come back and see what it looks like.
Ta-da! It's a black hood. So I don't know if they're showing up on the picture. Yeah, they are kind of. All the little holes and things. A lot of those are rock chips. Some of them are pinholes still. I didn't go super, super crazy because eventually the car will be painted. So I'm like, and I'm trying to use these rattle can garbage primer. The thing needs a good coat of like real 2K primer. Like Featherfill. Featherfill would probably be the best, being that this is fiberglass and everything. But either way, we've got all this sprayed on here. So whenever we are ready to paint the car, you know, majority of all of this paint will be sanded off, but that will also act as another kind of primer layer. I think it's going to dull out a little bit more as it dries, because this was supposed to be semi-gloss. If it's, I mean, I wouldn't hate it if it stays like this. This stuff laid out so nice, I almost wonder if the gloss would have laid out nice. I'm not going to go buy another couple cans of paint to find out, though. So, once we get it on the car, it's got to dry for like an hour to be handleable. So we're going to let it dry and put it on the car and see what it looks like. Look at that. Looks like a brand new hood. No more massive crack. For that was supposed to be semi-gloss. It looks pretty glossy. I mean, I guess that's okay. It kind of matches what gloss is left on the car. So I guess it's that time we clean. Maybe we'll call this one the Disgusting. She's so dirty. Ain't been bathed really. I mean, she's washed it, but haven't washed the engine bay, I don't think, ever. So I'm gonna degrease all that, clean that up, wash her up. Then when we're done with this one, we'll move to the other black Mustang. And we're gonna give this car its first bath, because I've never washed it. I mean, I power washed the underneath and hosed it off a little when we got it. Hood looks A-okay. It's still not fully cured, so I'm not gonna scrub it or anything. I'm just gonna rinse it off. I am waiting for some new pins, because I couldn't get just the plates. I was going to paint mine black. Mine are so chewed up, so I just ordered this new set for all the way around. Black pins, black plates. You know, because I'm a cool guy like that. So yeah, we're going to get this one washed after we get that one washed. We got two different neighbors over there getting their houses power washed. They're power washing their houses. I tell you, in the camera, almost looks like I painted it to match the damn car. Considering that came out of a rattle can. But I guess that kind of shows me the car does need to be painted. It's got that nasty dent right there, where something had fell on it, obviously, and the hood was on it too, because when that fell, the hood had a crack there. But yeah, no more crack in the front. Slowly coming together. The whole car needs repainted. I'm really not wanting to do it right now because I'm hoping the damn track will open, because you gotta weld that steering wheel stuff together, and I mean, we're damn near ready. Got this beauty all cleaned up. It was a little hot, so it's got some water spots on it. Once it cools down this afternoon, I'm gonna give her a good old hand rubbing.
Hey, you guys are still watching this? Hey, thanks for making it to the end. Coming up real soon, I'm going to have a giveaway, we can call it. So at the end of this video, which you've made it to, leave a comment saying that you made it, you watched it, you made the end, critique me, do whatever you want, tell me I suck, but let me know you're watching, and you could be one of the few that win in the upcoming giveaway.